Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, our mission is to cut right through the marketing hype around the Piodata 4K UHD Blu-ray burner.
Right.
It's sold as this perfect one-stop solution for both archiving your data and for 4K playback, but is it really?
The pitch is incredibly appealing. I mean, especially for you, the movie fan or, the serious data archivist. It seems like the perfect tool.
It really does.
The sources, they all point to these dream specs. You've got advertised 4K UHD reading, high-capacity BDXL support, and backwards compatibility. It just sounds perfect.
Okay, let's unpack this setup. When you get it home and you plug it in, what does this drive actually deliver?
Functionally, I mean, as a general-purpose optical drive, it's actually very good.
For normal stuff.
Exactly. It handles all your standard media formats really well. We're talking regular Blu-rays, DVDs, CDs.
And what about those big discs, the BDXL ones?
Yep, BDXL too. Those massive 100-gigabyte discs for, heavy data backups. And, of course, the recordable and rewritable formats, BDR and PDRE. If you just need a quality drive for writing data, it works.
But that's not why anyone pays the premium for a drive that has 4K UHD stamped all over it.
No, of course not.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me. Why is a commercial 4K movie disc such a completely different beast from, say, just a big 100-gigabyte data file?
It all comes down to a security system that's basically built to prevent you from doing the very thing you think you bought the drive for.
Which is copying a movie.
Precisely. Commercial 4K UHD discs use this incredibly strict copy protection, specifically AACS 2.0.
AACS 2.0.
And it's coupled with unique disk formatting. So it's not about the drive's ability to physically read the disk.
Right.
It's about this security handshake required by your entire computer system.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me I can buy this expensive 4K burner, I put in a blank disc, and it still won't let me copy a 4K movie I already own, not to make a disc that plays in a standard player?
That's the catch. You can't.
Then why even sell it with that promise?
Because the marketing, it sort of confuses data storage with actual movie playback. The crucial limitation is you just cannot duplicate a licensed 4K movie into a working UHD disc.
Because of that AACS 2.0 thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think of it like this. Copying the 4K video file is like copying all the individual parts of a sophisticated machine. You have the raw data, sure, but you're missing the licensed operating system and the ignition key to actually make it run.
That's a great analogy. So you lose all the infrastructure, the menus, the navigation, and that licensed playback that makes it a real movie experience.
You got it. And the hurdles, they don't even stop there, even if you just want to use the drive for simple playback on your PC.
Oh, there's more.
Getting real 4K UHD playbacks from a disc on a computer is notoriously difficult.
Yeah.
It needs compatible software, which is almost always a separate cost, and your hardware has to meet these really strict conditions.
What kind of conditions?
We're talking about specific security chips in your processor, like Intel SGX support, that a lot of older and even some newer CPUs just don't have, plus the right OS, the right DRM licensing. It's a minefield.
So the price on the box is really just a down payment.
I mean, for many users, yeah. By the time you find compatible hardware and pay for software licenses, the total cost for a working system is much, much higher than just the drive itself.
So what does this all mean then? What's the bottom line verdict from the sources on this drive?
The verdict is that the drive is excellent as a versatile burner. For Blu-rays, DVDs, data backup, especially with BDXL, it's a superb tool.
Yeah.
But expecting it to be a cheap, easy plug-and-play path to a UHD movie experience, that's just unrealistic.
So for reliable 4K film playback?
A dedicated, licensed 4K Blu-ray player is still the only truly dependable option.
This whole investigation just shows a massive gap between the marketing promise and the technical reality.
It really does.
It should make all of us think a bit harder about the license barriers, not just the listed features, when we're buying new tech.
And here's the provocative thought to take away from this. When a complex licensing scheme like AACS 2.0 is what actually defines a product's true function,
Right.
how can we get better consumer transparency? How can manufacturers help buyers understand the actual utility they're getting instead of just, the physical capability of the hardware? We have to keep questioning the fine print.
That is a powerful note to end on. And just a quick reminder, this is educational commentary on technology and digital archiving. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you in the next investigation.